because you weren't even a board member. Same thing that happened just about 4 or 5 minutes ago when you approved the minutes. Those people who raised their hand and says, if I approve the minutes, you can't approve the minutes because you weren't a board member at the past meeting. So if you go back and check the tabulation, it was 5-5. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Most important thing for neighborhood council, in my opinion, to be open and transparent about the finances. You had your agenda up 72 hours in advance. Financial documentation should be put there accordingly. Okay? I would seriously recommend taking this motion back and redoing this properly so that the community stakeholders can look at this within the guidelines specified by the Brown Act. And again, under the Brown Act, I have a right to have documentation made available without delay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Are we ready to go ahead and take a vote? There's no more public comment, right? Thank you. And just so the board knows that everything was posted on the web and physical. So we're going to do a roll call vote.
Okay, so, Marlene,
Abstain.
Cynthia, no, that was to approve the report or not? Okay, thank you. Angela?
Yes.
Capricia?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Luisana? Gama? Yes. Michelle?
Yes.
Augie? Yoli? Abstain. Ruben Chavez?
Yes.
Yes. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 yes and 2 abstentions.
Motion passes. Monthly expenditure report for November 2014 is approved as submitted. Thank you, Michelle. Item number 5 is our speaker series, and this evening we have an update from Metro on the 710 freeway. And I'm not sure who's going to be speaking. You are? Okay, I'm going to bring the microphone to you. We did give you 8 minutes of presentation on the agenda, and then we will go ahead and take 7 minutes of questions, answers from the public.
Good evening. My name is Vincent Gonzalez. I'm the Community Relations Manager for Metro for the State Route 710 North study. I'm joined by my colleague, Cleve Govan from Metro Highway Program, who's also working on the study as well. I'd first like to thank the board for requesting the status update. It's the last time we made a presentation to the board was back in July 2013, so it's been some time. I would also like to point out that we provided the board members as well as copies of our overview fact sheet that you have in your possession, as well as fact versus fiction, frequently asked questions, and also each of the 5 alternatives for your review and later review. So as we go out and actually have been making presentations to the communities, we hear a lot of the same questions that are being asked to us. So one of the responses is that we wanted to create a presentation that was getting more back to basics and answering some of the more many of the basic questions that we keep hearing about the study, why it's needed, and what is the purpose of the study. So why don't we go ahead and get started, take a look at the first image. There it is. So what is the North 710 study is one of the questions that was asked. Well, we really have to go back to the passage of Measure R in 2008, which mandated transportation upgrades throughout LA County, and this was passed by 2/3 of LA County voters. And Measure R also specifically allocated $780 million for the 710 North congestion relief effort. So with that directive, Caltrans and Metro are studying mobility and possible traffic solutions within Northeast Los Angeles, East Los Angeles, and Western San Gabriel Valley. And with this directive, we have the 5 multimodal alternatives we are being equally evaluated. So all of them are being studied equally, evaluated equally, and no decisions have been made today.
I just want to point out my name is Cleve Govan, as he mentioned. I'm with Senior Environmental Specialist with Metro. I was previously employed by Caltrans, but I retired now. I'm with Metro. Give you background. What is the study area? We studied very comprehensive areas, 100 square miles. It's bounded on the west by Route 5 and Route 2. It's bounded on the south by the I-10 freeway. Bounded on the west by, on the east by the 605 freeway, and on the north by the 210 freeway. And we studied that area, and that's where we are at this point.
So the next question that we would like to ask is, what is the study process? So the study process actually began back during scoping and progressed to the alternatives analysis report. So the alternatives analysis report identified the 5 alternatives. All this information is posted on the Metro webpage for the State Route 710 North study. The alternatives analysis report was released back in January 2013. The next major milestone that we are looking at is the release of the draft environmental document. And that is anticipated to be slated for February 2015. So the draft environmental document will evaluate all of the 5 alternatives and identifies key findings for each of them. We will also then proceed to a public hearing. So Caltrans has determined to hold 2 public hearings. They've extended the state requirement of a 45-day public comment period to 90 days to allow stakeholders to provide additional time to provide their comments to Caltrans and Metro. The next major milestone would be the identification of the preferred alternative, and this will not occur until the final document is prepared, and that is anticipated to be released sometime in 2016.
Okay, why is the study needed? The current transportation network was started more than half a century ago, but was never completed. From 1960 to 2010, the study area population grew by over 500,000 people, from approximately 772,000 to approximately 1,300,000. That's according to U.S. Census data. The study area is forecast to have a population of 1.33 million people and an employment base of 500,000 jobs by 2035. This is according to SCAG, Southern California Association of Governments. Weekday delays cost taxpayers $20 million annually and increases carbon dioxide emissions by approximately 5,000 tons annually. This is based on the annual urban mobility report from 2012. This is equal to approximately weight of 2,800 passenger cars. Population growth means more traffic congestion, accidents, air pollutants, and related illnesses, and diminished quality of life in the San Gabriel Valley, East Northeast Los Angeles region.
So what are the goals of the State Route 710 North study? The study will identify transportation solutions to improve travel time, mobility, and connectivity between the 10 and the 210 freeways. Currently, users of our freeway network have to travel about 12 miles in between the 2 freeway and the 605 freeway. There are no north-south connectors. We are also looking at reducing congestion on the freeways and local streets. We are looking at increasing transit ridership on our buses, and also to minimize environmental impacts due to traffic congestion. Currently, we also experience, many of the communities experience cut-through traffic because there is no through traffic north-south connection between the 10 and the 210 freeway. Also, to assure consistency with the regional transportation plan that is prepared by the Southern California Association of Government, and to also maximize taxpayer dollars.
Okay, what are all the alternatives under consideration? As already mentioned, there are 5 alternatives that are going to be considered in the draft environmental document. One is the bus rapid transit. This is an express buses for longer trips at high speeds that serves the communities between Los Angeles and Pasadena. With connections in bus service to adjacent communities, greater frequency of bus service, minimal stops, and potential dedicated bus lanes during peak periods. You've seen a lot of that now, that a lot of bus rapid transit are operating at present. The next alternative under consideration is the freeway tunnel. This will extend to 710 as an underground roadway beneath, starting from Valley Boulevard north to the 210 freeway, 710 up in Pasadena. There were going to be variations included single or twin bore tunnels, with and without holes, with without trucks, and without express bus service lanes. There are also the light rail transit. This will serve communities from East Los Angeles to Pasadena with connection bus services for passengers traveling to adjacent communities. And the no bill, which really means none of this project would be involved in it. And the transportation system demand management, transportation demand management, that's TSM TDM alternative. That's just signalization, widening streets, etc.
Just wanted to give you a little bit more detail.
A little bit more detail.
I know, he's at 8 minutes. Is this available on?
It is available, I could make this available, but to the neighborhood council, I can send you one. You have a PowerPoint presentation, so if you wanted to
Okay,
retain that, you can go ahead and do so.
okay.
But if I could just wrap up by saying we do have collateral materials at the back of the room. They are available for everyone's review. They're both in English and Spanish. And as we move forward, I just also wanted to point out at the conclusion of this presentation, we do have contact information. Again, everything is on the webpage, and we have a lot of information in the back for the group.
Okay, and we're going to take some questions also. So if anybody has a question that they want to ask them, can you go ahead and please line up there, please? Okay, but that, I'm not going to count that in the question answer. You have a public comment, right? Do you have a question that needs to be answered or just a public comment? Okay. Just 2? 3? I won't ask you to, I won't ask you to come and stand up here.
Tom Williams, been working on 710 for about 20 years, 25 years now. Basics. The city of Los Angeles has 2 resolutions. That number 1 says no F7, which is the basis for the proposed tunnel alternative. It also says no construction, that is, the portal shall begin and end south of Valley Boulevard. Well, they don't show you that the portal extends about 800 feet north of Valley Boulevard. So, question, is the Valley Boulevard portal going to be south or extend north of Valley Boulevard?
It starts south of Valley Boulevard.
It starts, where does it end?
It ends underground.
It ends underground. That is 800 feet north of Valley Boulevard, as shown by the drawings that you have provided in the Technical Advisory Committee, and even on some of the documents. It goes north of Valley Boulevard. The portal, as defined by general tunneling experts, is that portion which might say from the change of grade till the beginning of the bored tunnel. In the first set of drawings that were provided to the public, you identified it as portal from the beginning to the end at the transition between the cut and cover and the board tunnel. It's basically not in compliance with a city council resolution and will be an issue in February and March. Thank you.
Thank you.
In a word, we have no response.
Okay, well, okay. Now, we're gonna count that as public comment and a question, but for the questions, if you could just please keep it a question, not a comment question to the gentleman, and let them answer. Thank you.
Actually, too, is that pretty much locked in, the tunnel method then? And thanks, Mr. Williams, always good points. Is that locked in, the tunnel method, below ground? Is that the way,
That's the alternative, it's a,
one of the
it's
alternatives?
a tunnel alternative, we're gonna have either two board or single board. It's gonna start south of Valley and go underground all the way to Pasadena.
And is that going to be primarily toll road for commerce or
We are
Mixed residential.
looking at tolls and no tolls.
tolls and no tolls? Okay.
And also studying as one of the very